What's up everyone, this is Tiffany with thegearlady.com and today we are talking snowboard bindings. So, I got a new snowboard. Wait for it. Oh, this whole thing. KEMPER was nice enough to give me this awesome new board, which I was so excited about, except for then I was like, oof. So I'm gonna need some snowboard bindings. And then I was like, oof, I don't know how to put them on. So this video is for those of you that are looking to put bindings on your snowboard, whether it's a new snowboard, hopefully it is, maybe something like KEMPER, I don't know. Or you're just wanting to kind of change up the placement or your stance on the board. So don't you worry, I took my board to Board of Provo. Justin was nice enough to let me film the entire process and I made sure to ask plenty of questions that you guys at home might have. So after watching this, you should be the bindings expert.
The further open it is, it just helps to initiate that turn. So they're designed so that you can flip the disc both ways.
The step that a lot of people don't do right then.
Another big thing that is key that a lot of people don't do correctly.
You're welcome for all the knowledge I'm about to drop on you. And by I mean Justin's about to drop on you. So thank you, Justin. So one of the first things Justin had me do when I got there was stand on the snowboard and kind of show him the stance that I wanted to put it on.
Most comfortable to you?
My stand pretty narrow. I had it wider and my hips were hurting like I was 90 years old. How do people, like if you weren't here being like, that looks good, how would people know?
It varies from brand to brand. A lot of brands will actually give you markings or reference markings, those little X's, their recommended reference stance. The reference stance is always just that, it's a reference. It's a starting point. It's not set in stone. Typically, if the board is the right size for the person you're getting it to, the reference stance or the suggested reference stance should be pretty close to accurate, but everyone always has their own personal preference too. And so you get people that like to run 24-inch stances and they have their feet almost out on the tips.
Oh, dang.
And then people like yourself that want something a little bit narrower.
I want to be standing upright.
Exactly.
On the board.
So as long as we're not feet together or toed in, we're doing okay.
Okay.
A rider like yourself that's riding both directions, on your front foot we would start anywhere between 12 and 18. The further open it is, it just helps to initiate that turn. And then on the back foot, same deal. If you're riding less switch, we would do less of an angle.
When you're saying 12 to 18, you mean these little numbers?
Exactly. This is a 15-degree angle. You've got a little triangle right here that points at each little notch on the disc, and then you get numbers every like 3 to 9. They'll post them depending on the brand. So they're designed so that you can flip the disc both ways.
And you know if you're 15 or 18, depending on what? How do you determine?
Again, there's all a little bit of personal preference that comes into all of this. I personally like my bindings to be mirrored. I don't like an 18 here and then a 12 or a 15 here if I am going to be riding that direction frequently, because it's going to feel different enough that it might throw me off a little. If you're only riding switch every so often, you can definitely set them a little bit different, but it's something that we usually suggest start with it here and then go out and play with it. There's nothing wrong with unscrewing 4 screws and moving that a notch or 2 and then taking another run to see if it works better for you. That's the important part. Adjust it for yourself. Don't get comfortable riding something that's not comfortable. The next thing we're going to do is mount your binding. Big thing that is key that a lot of people don't do correctly is using the right tool. A number 3 screwdriver is actually super important. It's flat on the end, so it lets it sit flush all the way down in the hardware. 2s look very similar, but they won't give you the leverage to actually tighten the hardware and you'll strip stuff. And all bindings are a little bit different in terms of how you adjust them for the length of the boot and getting them centered on the board. With this BURTON binding, we have these extra holes to move the binding side to side to get the boot centered on the board, but we've got to actually pin it in place real quick to see where it's going to fall. Instead of doing all 4 of the screws, we're just going to do 2 opposing corners and then set the boot in it to see if it is centered on the board. You're going to have a little bit hanging off each end, but it's important to try and equal it out so you have the same amount of toe hanging off the end that you do on the heel side.
So this is the step that a lot of people don't do right then.
Yeah, or they don't do it at all. Most people will put the binding on the board and center the binding to the board, but that typically will hang one side of your boot off the board more than the other.
So say this was a guy's board with way larger boots. the bindings need to be pushed back further than my bindings would be right now.
So yeah, once you get the binding or the boot in the binding, you typically just come down here and look at it from this side. You have about the same amount of boot coming off each side of the board so that your toe is equal to what's hanging off on the heel side.
What adjustment are you making right now then?
So the boot needs to come back just a hair to be centered. We'll just take out the 2 screws we put in. Okay, so we were in this set of holes. All we need to do is slide it to that set of holes, and that moves the whole thing back, and that should center us.
So someone doing this at home, try it, see how it's looking, how it's feeling, and adjust it as
Put your binding on the board. Don't put all 4 screws in, just start with 2. Once you get it screwed in, put the boot in and see how much it hangs off each side, and then adjusting it accordingly from there. So the second binding usually goes a little bit faster because you just have to basically mirror everything you did to the first one. You're looking for the strap to be actually centered on the boot. So you can see this little piece is kind of dead center over the front of the boot. On your ankle strap, you either want the strap itself centered over the boot, or you want to try and get your ratchet as close to the middle of your ladder strap as you can, so that you're not drastically out at either end and gives you room for adjustment later. This is an adjustment that not too many people do. Look at the back of this binding. Compared to the boot, you can see that you've got this giant corner that hangs off that nothing's coming in contact with, and the boot sticks out over here and there's nothing to support it. So by loosening these screws at the base of this, what it allows us to do is shift your high back.
Oh my
So we can slide this way. You want to flatten your high back so that it is even with your heel side edge right here.
Oh.
So if this is flat with that, when you lean back, your entire boot will touch instead of having half the boot hanging out here and this big wing hanging out here not touching anything. When you put that back in there, it's centered on the boot now.
And all those adjustments make all the difference in how it rides.
So there you have it. You've learned straight from Justin at Board of Provo how to put your snowboard bindings on. Now you know everything there is to know about bindings. You're welcome. Hopefully you feel like the absolute bindings expert. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon in my next video. Oh. Okay, we're here at Board of Provo with Justin. He's a freaking rock star, so if you need any gear, you know where to come, you know where to find him.
What up, peeps? Come see me.